Well, folks, here again for the weekly forecast. And during this last week, we just basically seen a roller coaster in terms of temperatures. Below normal for one day, above normal the next day. About the only significant moisture that we had during the 7-day period was across the western portion of the state into central Nebraska, particularly in the Monday through Tuesday time frame, where we did have some snowfall accumulations anywhere from up to 5 inches in the southern panhandle to a general 1 to 3 inch coverage across the center portion of the state just to the north of Interstate 80. For the rest of us, a few flurries or no precipitation whatsoever. And as we go through this next 7-day period, it doesn't look like there's going to be many chances for significant moisture. So as we go to the upper air models, first thing we'll show you is that we do have a little bit of a trough that's moving across the state. Right now it looks like moisture is going to be very limited with this system, and we've seen a little bit of drizzle associated with it. The main surface low down to our south really trying to lift a lot of moisture well to the north, and we're too far away from that low pressure system to really generate a lot of moisture. So looking at a fairly dry map here across most of the country. Now as we go into tomorrow, we start to see ridging taking place in a much warmer pattern as surface high starts to build into our region. There is showing some low pressure system up in the Dakotas, but it looks like that isn't going to have any moisture associated with it, and whatever it does form looks like it's going to be just basically from the Nebraska border to the east. Now as we go into Monday, we start to see that trough building a little bit farther into the western United States, bringing that ridge up into our region, bringing much warmer air. We do see some southerly flow with this little low pressure system highlighted here in the Texas Panhandle, but once again, there really not much in the way of active weather expected even with that low pressure system. That trough quickly starts to move across the northern plains, bringing us a shot of cool air as we go into Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday evening. High pressure will settle into our region, so we're going to return back to some cooler conditions. A little bit of light precipitation in the central Rockies, but once again, most of the moisture is still associated with that troughing pattern in the western United States. Then we start to see that starting to dig a little bit into the western United States. Low pressure over the central Rockies will generate some moisture, but it will not have any impact whatsoever on us, as most of that moisture stays right along the eastern seaboard and over the Great Lakes. Now as we get into the day Thursday, a quick trough again moves across the region, brings us another surge of cool air. Any moisture associated with this looks like it would be across the southern plains, and even there we're looking at very light precipitation amounts, less than 1/4 of an inch. The main precipitation that we would expect accumulating moisture will be all to the east of us, and then we start to see that trough really deepen as we get into Friday. That's going to bring a pretty significant shot of cool air to the east of us. Most likely the coolest areas of the state will be eastern Nebraska, with a warming trend developing across the western part of the state as ridging starts to build in for the weekend. So we look at the 8 to 14 day forecast from next Thursday through the following Tuesday, highlighting that ridge building into our region. And unfortunately, with that ridge comes drier than normal weather, precipitation both on east and the west coast. We'll start to watch this trough for signs that it may cause some problems during the Thanksgiving Day weekend, but so far it looks fairly safe for us.